Transmissions.
Hello, listeners. It's been a while. Welcome back to Abstract Transmissions.
Welcome.
We have a very special episode for you guys in the aspect that it's so special that it's just me and Tigo today.
Yes, indeed.
We are having this episode really to kind of touch base on, the fact that the world is on fucking fire right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, as you guys all know, if you're in the science community, you have a pretty good idea of what's going on with the global climate is pretty fucked. And just a lot of stuff going on. So we've been out of the light for a little bit. Just had to take some personal time.
For sure.
Some close friends and family. My wife passed away just recently, so we're lots of navigating some really tough situations. But it's like almost simultaneously while all this bad stuff has happened, it almost seems like when bad stuff happens, everything else in the world seems awful too.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy, dude.
It's just weird.
It really
it's fucking odd, and I think that a lot of times people they have this like background kind of like shark music. You know what I mean? I use that as an example. I get this from a novel that I am reading. It's actually it's kind of weird because it's a parenting book.
I was thinking the shark, like.
Yeah, well, like,
but not. Sorry, I'm fucking
no. It's fine. It's called No Drama Discipline, by Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. It's really interesting perspective on child engagement in trying to avoid, really tough back and forth with your kid.
Yeah.
But overall, just a new way of looking at discipline. But the whole thing is like the shark music thing is like that background like tenseness in your household all the time.
It's a little binary code of just
right. Yeah, exactly. Like that feeling that like it's just this. And anybody who's ever had a parent who is just pissed off all the time and stressed out all the time and just like
it's awful.
There's just is like this overall like tense feeling of doom that hangs over everything, and that's really I think what they're getting with the shark music thing. But I guess where I was going, not to get off on a tangent, because that's what we do here at Abstract Transmissions, going on fucking tangent all the time. Oh man, these tangents we go on are good for conversation, but not so great for staying on task. My feeling is that when all these things happen, there's this just overlying doom feeling around, and then it's like simultaneously, there's these fucking shootings in the background, and I'm just all this is like background noise, right? It's just white noise to me because I can't absorb all of it because it just depresses me even worse. It's like Matt, our guitarist. From Unrest in Transit. Matt was, for those who don't know, Matt Fogg was our real close friend, Justin and mine, and other friends of ours. And we were in a band, two bands with them. Well, three for me, and two
three for me.
Three for
two.
because you were in United States Emergency, right?
Yeah.
And me and him and Doug from Unrest and Dante, the current band I'm in now, he was playing lead for a while until he couldn't. Long story short, he, had been a driving force in our life and just recently passed away. And it was really, really brutal when that happened. And then right after that, my wife Kayla passed away. So it's just like, when these things happen in your life, people say it happens in threes, whatever it may be, but it seems like it happened in a never-ending string. And I think for some people that it just seems like that. It's just like, it's not 1, 2, 3. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Sometimes it's fucking
boom.
4 or 5.
Weird rhythm.
Ridiculous.
All of a sudden, it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You're like, or no, the windows that come up when you're fucking not supposed to be. It's like, dong, 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 dong.
Oh, did you do the bing, 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 bing.
Windell.
Window.
Yeah, well, it's an inside joke.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah,
Some theme music for you. For those who don't understand what the fuck we're talking about. This
not
is great.
true.
This is
It's
going to be
not
a hell of an episode, me and you fucking...
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, we really, it's important to go into kind of the background of abstract transmissions, why we're here and what we're doing, and really what the origins are. There's a lot of delay here for us because we kind of had to get our bearings. I mean, shit. My expectation was the situation with Matt. Then we get right back up on our feet and get right back into recording. And because we were, ahead on episodes and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's just like death.
And it just happened. Boom, boom.
Fucking
like, what the hell?
no room to breathe. So
Brutal.
I mean,
Brutal
it's tough. I've had a lot of time to cry it out and stuff, and I'm still dealing with it. I'm talking about it pretty comfortable here, but I think
good
it's
that you are, man. You got to do it.
well. This is the whole thing. Like that video that I posted earlier. It's about checking in with yourself.
Yeah.
You got
Very
to
important.
mental health checks.
Physical, mental,
Yeah.
everything. You got to keep your body running, well oiled, doing good mentally, physically. You got to do it.
Right. And so often we don't. I mean, I'm not, incredibly physically I'm definitely not physically
Same
healthy.
fucking here. I'm trying.
But we try to aspire to those things. It's always good to try to improve yourself and
Yeah.
make those improvements, especially when something like this happens and it just jogs that sense of mortality.
Yeah.
Where it's like reality sets in and holy shit, life is real, and it's hard and it's brutal, and unfortunately for those out there really isn't a whole lot of safe spaces in reality. You can hide anywhere you want, but if an asteroid's hurtling at our planet and we have no fucking clue, which we haven't recently, and this is part of the episode, is people aren't paying attention to what the fuck's going on. We're worried about the world being on fire and the aspect of global warming with good reason, when in reality it's more likely we're going to get curbed by a fucking space rock. But the thing that I guess I was getting at is like, checking in with yourself to keep yourself on the straight and clear. When things like this happen, it rocks our world and our ability to kind of get our bearings back straight. But you gotta do it. You
Gotta be healthy, gotta be strong, mentally, physically, and don't worry, that comet will crack you. You'll be healthy, mentally and physically. We're all fucked. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's like when it hits, we'll be nice and healthy.
Do you want to be limber when you get cranked, or do you want to get fucking slothy, man?
It's so
Like,
true.
You want to feel good though.
Yeah, no,
Either
exactly. Yeah, I mean that's it. What's the point? We live on this planet for 60 years or whatever the fuck it is, and we've got this time to experience life as it is, and spiritually report back or whatever the hell it is that our soul or energy does when we die. We don't know, but we know that it can't be just created nor destroyed. So I mean that's the real tough decision that I've had to have with my kid, is that what happens to energy when someone dies. It's I was going off on a tangent, but why I was doing those videos is you got to talk about this stuff, and I'm talking about it right now. It was really hard to have that conversation with my kid. But he could understand it, and the fact that energy, whether you believe in the soul or you believe that energy transfers, it's like, kids can wrap their heads around that, and probably handle it better than we can. So, but it's important that they understand that, it's okay to check in with yourself, and have a counselor. And this whole idea of mental health being a stigma, that's the thing I guess I was getting at, and why these videos and checking in with yourself is so important, or why I'm doing the podcast, really comfortably, in my opinion, being okay with talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And why it's just me and you doing it.
Yeah.
Is that we can discuss these things in an open, aired sense and not have it be. I mean, the problem is everybody makes it so goddamn personal that it becomes these family secrets that are buried down, and instead of talking about health issues in the 50s, they'd fucking stuff their kid away in a closet because he was friggin' on the autism spectrum and they didn't know what the fuck it was. So
what's the matter with you?
Right. So what we need to do is
Get your
stop doing
boots
shit
on.
like that. We need to talk about our mental issues.
Yeah,
We need to
very
talk about
important.
the fact that I felt incredibly depressed, like the world was coming to an end for the last, week and a half. My world is falling apart, and in reality, a lot of times the world that I knew was, but only because things change, whether you want it or not.
It'll
life-
just go.
Life.
It's very
fucking-
unforgiving,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
very neutral. It doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
And that's why I think that's the whole concept of safe spaces and all that is like, I understand. We try to be civil to each other and try to be good to each other and give each other space to breathe, right? But you don't always have that. Reality isn't forgiving as you want it to be.
Safe spaces, like somewhere to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I mean,
I think that's important. I think that's what the people are talking about,
for sure. Comfortability.
But there's been no safe space for me
You gotta
this
be
last
careful.
week and a half. I at home, anywhere I go, it's the reality that we're going through these major awful situations, and there's no safe space for my 8-year-old. He just gets to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your safe space, man. I mean, it doesn't exist.
No.
You got to deal with reality, and reality is reality. If there's somebody bullying you, there's somebody antagonizing you, you can do your best to relocate and try to separate from that, but there's no guarantee of that area.
Nope.
I mean, that's my thing, I guess, that I'm getting at is like, it's really important that we have these mental health recalibrations.
Yeah.
But it's also important that we recognize it for what it really is, and that the reality is that the world is a harsh, unforgiving space.
For sure.
But we got to change the way we look at mental health, because it's like, sure, it's a rough engine, the
For
that,
sure,
that
dude.
we're riding on here. But at the same time, we can try to strap ourselves as comfortably into that fucking engine as possible. So
Yeah.
I think that's okay that we try to create safe spaces.
I think
But to expect or demand them is unrealistic.
community and stability
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Just the right thinking, and I don't even know if it's the right
People,
thinking at
no,
this point. It's
no,
like,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Surrounding yourself with people and friends.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've done in the last week and a half. And except counseling for my son and myself, trying to
dude,
get
I
back to my
couldn't-
own counseling. And
I couldn't imagine. I
it's,
could not imagine what
well-
your son's going through right now, dude. It fucks my head up.
yeah.
Because I know, I mean, I know
too.
children are resilient, but dude, fucking, whew, I guess I'm fucking neurotic or something. But
No.
like
Makes-
that, I would have fucking. I don't know how I would be if that happened.
It's
when I was 8.
it's one of those things that once it happens, you're just like, well, you got to deal with it now. It has to happen.
It has, yeah. You
You
got
have
to deal
to
with it.
you have to approach it. The weird thing I think that happens
So
is like
early,
you put your right, but you put
But
your
late too. It's the same.
Yeah.
But you have to deal with it either way.
Well, I think the thing that I'm finding is like you put your own personal experiences onto your kid, and you're like, "This is so terrible." And he's experiencing all these things, and it's like, no, you just think he's experiencing it because you're experiencing
Exactly.
it, and you're just putting him through
And
all
I
that. In
fucking-
reality, he's just like, I just want to go back to my video game.
I just want to fucking
I just
do
want
this.
to check out for a
man.
little bit. Yeah, it's like it's not that complex for him. It's pretty straightforward. He just wants to go back to Roblox for a little while and say fuck reality.
And if it like,
And kudos to that. I
did that same thing. Just I just feel so bad. Like I'm just comparing, and it's like, everybody's different. But
their little minds aren't even
fucking-
thinking of that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, well, I get it. I mean, I think that now that's the alternative for a lot of people is to just dive into not even reality TV shows anymore. You know what I mean? It's YouTube videos and Facebook feeds and shit for that general demographic. You still have that older baby boomer generation, or the Gen Y, or just like right before Gen Y or whatever. I don't know. Gen X, technically. It's still, they want to watch reality TV, but a lot of us are just diving into these, these apps that are feeding it, just fucking with our dopamine levels. And we're just diving right into it. And we're like putting our kids right in front of it too. So meanwhile, my kids going through all of this this grief and all this stuff, and I'm putting him from this dopamine machine, this digital binary dopamine output, trying to do. So people are like, oh well, about drugs and this and that. It's like, you're basically giving your kid drugs by giving him a fucking tablet, and you don't realize it because you have no concept of how the brain works. But that's exactly what's happening. Every time he hits one of those, he plays Candy Crush, and those dopamine receptors are lighting up like a fucking, like the elves in the cookie tree. Just like fucking Archer says in that episode. It's so true. And the kids are just like, whew, and of course that you pull it away from them, like, because it's like it's like a drug to them.
1.2 seconds, just
God.
It's like, I didn't take it away from you. It's loading. It has to load.
Yeah, right. It's got a natural. Yeah, right. Little
That's
gremlins,
scary.
little digital gremlins, little digital binary tablet gremlins. Fuck. It's so hard because I'm letting him grieve by using this tablet. But where's the health in that, and how much of that? So my real solution obviously is to surround him by kids and family, and get him outside and all these things that maybe he wasn't doing as much before, and all of it's been really good for him. But at the same time, still letting him have that
fucking beach, dude.
That digital heroin.
The beach might help.
It's fucking terrible. The beach was great for him. He loved it. He was throwing rocks, and that's it. We got to connect back to fresh air and reality. That's, people are starving for it. Yeah. Not kids, not adults.
Fucking
all humanity.
Everybody. Yeah,
is starving for it, and we need to get that connection back.
The woods,
it's happening in these intervals. Yeah, absolutely. So the origins, that kind of dives back to why we're here. Is that connection of reality, the connection of humanity, and the connection of conversation. We're not having conversations anymore. As humans, we are just screaming into the void, the digital void, at each other, but not at each other, and out there. And somebody's like, no, that's not exactly right. Fuck you for not agreeing with me. And that's just this weird dynamic. And I do it, and everybody does it. And it's just, well, not Justin, you fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah. I'm just
fuck you. You are clear of it. You don't really integrate. You don't try to fight into it. You don't involve yourself in it. You might put one of those
fucking stress.
You put a picture of that fucking guy from fucking Small Wonders.
Oh,
Vicky,
Small Wonders, yeah, the Vicky robot.
Just to fucking troll a little bit, but dude, it's hilarious. It's good.
Humor is great, but at the same time, there's certain instances in life where you're gonna deal with somebody who's like, that's not fucking funny, dude.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Like, this. Look at the guy. He's like, fuck you.
They're the fucking troglodytes of society, and if they don't get it, it's okay not to get it, but to be to get angry that they don't get it.
I don't get it. I'm
not included.
Pick up the gun and fight for this fucking all the politics. You're not into politics? Fuck you. Which, dude, it's it's not like I'm not. Because I try to pay attention.
No.
It just fucking stresses me out,
I think your
dude.
perspective is good, and that's why I like when we talk about politics with guests on the show.
Yeah. And that's why
you're open and you're just about learning, and you learn from guests in the same way I learn from guests. I'm more opinionated, I guess, in a lot of ways, but that's a negative bias in a lot if you think about it. Yeah, because being opinionated, just you're firmly planting your opinion already in the sand, and that doesn't give you any real leeway to gain more traction and understanding. Which is it's really kind of an ignorant way to look at it. You're like, nope, this is what I believe because these are all the facts and everything I found. Well, those are the facts you've been presented with, but life can present you with a lot of other facts. And as somebody who appreciates science and facts and data, I should really recognize that more often. But hey, it's a learning process.
Yeah, it is.
And accepting that you're wrong is just part of the fucking gambit.
Trying to learn about and listen and pay attention, but then there's like, well, it's been long enough, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Yeah.
What fucking side are you on? No, but like, no, it's just
Hawaii stage divey.
it's like I need to learn a little bit more. I don't know. You're freaking me out.
To hit
Stop.
some more of this hash oil a little bit more.
Yeah, if I can have a drink.
Yeah, you know, I just it's that back and forth. The people are like, no, fuck you. I'm right. These are the reasons why, and blah 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 blah. No facts, no binary data to back it up. They didn't research it. And then I get it, like my John Rossi, if you're listening out there, I really like your perspective on this in the aspect of talking about research. When people are like, well, did you do your research? And it's like, well, how much time are you really going to do for research? Because there's so much shit to actually research. Did you spend 4 hours? Did you spend 40 hours? Did you spend 450 million fucking hours? Did you spend 20 years researching, the mating habits of primates in Southeast Asia versus the mating habits of primates in Southeast Africa? Fucking, there's a difference, but really gonna get, like, that's the thing that, like, you can only research so much, you can only know so much, and to expect everybody to do all of that research is kind of absurd. At the same time, research is something that you can easily find, quantify, and back up. Bibliographies are not hard to create, and you spent your entire childhood, mini adulthood, I guess, when you're going from fucking like 13 to 18, you're learning about how to get bibliographies together, fact check your data, reinforce that. I know it's different now, obviously, because everybody else had Wikipedia and all these different resources. Back when I was younger, you couldn't use Wikipedia as a resource. Wikipedia didn't even exist when I was in school. But then when I heard about it, it was something that you could only use it in certain aspects, and you couldn't use it because it wasn't guaranteed reliable sources because it could be changed. But now, I mean, it is what it is. People rely on it as factual data.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the discussion of fake news comes in. I said data can be altered. Data can be changed. Truth can be changed. History can be changed.
Indeed. John Rossi, I haven't seen him in a while. Shout out, hey.
Yeah, no, right?
Such a good
Seriously,
dude.
no, and I'm
Like
glad that I, because it's funny. I saw a perspective that he had. And I remember he said something about that, and I just thought that was like, you're right, because I'm always the first person to be a real dank about stuff and be like, you need to do your research, but it's like, yeah, but how much research can you really do on something? You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff out there, and you're always going to get biased research too. But I think that just reinforces the argument that it's like, yeah, but it's still there to do. It's like, yeah, you may come from a different perspective, but let's discuss that. Yeah. Let's discuss the research that you found and that I found, and we can quantify it back and forth. Yeah. Because we're going to find some sort of common ground or agree to disagree, but at least we had an intellectual conversation about it. We didn't shout at each other online.
See, I like to be wrong about things. Please prove me right so my fucking brain can shut up.
Well, and that's the thing, though.
Not that I'm thinking super negative thoughts all the time.
No,
or fucking,
but you want to learn, though.
It's like,
it's good. It's humble, and that's important, dude. That's so much more respectable than the people who are just like, I know everything.
But it's like a fine balance. I feel like I don't want to be like the, you don't want to be ignorant weak piece of shit or the fucking, I want to be right in the middle. I want to be like swinging in the fucking middle of the pendulum.
Oh yeah, no, fuck being a mega alpha male.
Not to the left or right.
No offense out there, you fucking assholes.
No offense.
Dicks. Dick swingers. That's why I call them dick swingers.
Dick swingers. You're all just jealous because I can swing my dick.
I'm gonna find that cripple, fucking beat his ass.
You're just gonna get fucking ass. Bullied at 36? Really? Fucking stop.
I know.
Shut up.
That's the shit, though. That's the shit. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Like I just, it's disgusting. They're just tough guys. The as Louis C.K. would call it, the going to get laid dudes. The ones would come dripping out of their fucking eyes because they couldn't fucking get anything, because they come off as creeps after they didn't jerk off for a week or two. It's like they just like, let's go get fucking laid. Like, no, maybe you should go jerk off first before you go try to fucking creep the shit out of people.
No. But these
are crude conversations. Sorry, but it's like these guys go out there and they're just like, hey, And then they're angry at the end of the night because they didn't get laid, and they're pissed off, and they're drunk dialing fucking girls they didn't know, or do know, or whatever. It's like, dude, we've all been there. Guys have all fucking made stupid decisions, and yeah. But it's like, but when they get like mega aggressive and fucking creepy about it, it's like, dude, just go fucking go, dude. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna go there.
The amount of effort is hilarious.
Oh, dude, they dump all kinds of effort. You think about the amount of time that men spend in articulating situations where they might get into a situation in which a girl might want to go on a date that might lead to them going on to another date that leads to another one in which they might get laid.
Oh.
You know, all of that, like, might, and all of the money and all that stuff, and then they're like, I don't pay for prostitutes. It's like, you think about these people that...
Or you can pay for prostitutes.
Right. I know. It sounds fucked up.
I'm not, like, pro
prostitution.
I'm neutral, but, like, I mean...
but there's... No, you make a valid point. Fuck it.
Than,
this is why we're having these conversations, because these people have this concept that, like, okay, you know, whether you agree with prostitution or you don't agree with prostitution, we've had these conversations about whether it should be illegal or illegal. There's people that will literally go out on these dates just so they can hook up, and then these people never talk again. They all spend hundreds of dollars plus whatever premiums on this stupid swipe left right app that they've got. This is all fucking unbelievable how much the world is fucking dove into digital fuckfest. It's so insane. But that's the whole back and forth. It's just it's insane. If you just had a society in which like people paid for sex if they wanted it or whatever, I actually think you would have more meaningful relationships come out of that society than you would a society that prohibits prostitution. I think that if you were to make prostitution legal, that you would actually have more meaningful relationships, hetero and homosexual relationships, or the whole spectrum of. I just think that it would improve overall, because people could go out and they can get their jollies off to whatever the fuck it is that they like. Even weird shit, horses, whatever the fuck it is, Kinky Kelly's on the fritz. These guys go out, and then after it's like
horse braids, not the actual.
They find
horses.
each other. Yeah, they're like, oh well, we found it at Kinky Kelly Fest, and we found out that we both fell in love because we watched
Kinky Kelly. What is that? I don't know.
Clerks 2.
Oh,
guy
Jesus.
blows a donkey or whatever.
Oh,
fucking ridiculous.
I haven't seen that movie in
I love
since
Kevin
actually
Smith,
like
man.
He's
such a good fucking.
You played
director.
that. Yeah, you had it. You're working.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking A. That's crazy. And you brought home Grand Theft Auto 4, I believe it was. Yeah, because you were hanging out.
Back when I worked at Radio Shack. Yeah, oh boy,
that wasn't working.
Company out of business.
That was fucking.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Fucking memories.
But, you know, endless days.
Well, so I mean, to get back to the concept that I think that if people would be able to express their kink in real life and just do whatever the fuck they want, not have to feel bad about it, I think there'd be probably more meaningful relationships, less rapes in society, less fucking murders and serial killers, and because there's a lot of people that just like turns out that they're just gay and they can't accept that they're gay because of some fucking religious fucking confusion in their brain where they hate themselves inside and they end up killing people because of it.
And
it's just like,
wow.
you should just been, you know, gay with your friend Ben or whatever the fuck, and just it's like,
Benjamin, come here.
Jesus doesn't hate you.
No,
you just embodied Ron Gray right there.
That's right.
He did. You reminded me. He cut a funny joke like that.
Yeah, no, that's. I miss Ron.
Yeah. More depression.
I know, seriously.
But no, listen,
he
though.
passed last, 2018. I believe it was like February 4th.
Another example of what we were talking about before.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like he died, my dad died,
it was fucking February.
His brother died. It's just like
18th.
Fucking boom, 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 death, and then again this year, boom, boom, boom,
fucking
boom.
Unbelievable.
Fucking fuck you, reality. So I mean, I think that the thing that just we got on a tangent there. What were we talking about? What was it?
Just life perspective. Just bringing the conversation back into a hole.
You're bullshitting. You don't remember what we were talking about.
No, not at all, man. I think we were talking about sexual deviancy or something.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
And that if people were to just
not deviancy, just being accepting of.
You're gonna get all kinds of fucking Twitter hate in the morning. Hey, this just in, he doesn't have a Twitter, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fucking go right on it.
No YouTube, no Twitter. You guys can't fucking complain anywhere,
This
really.
Justin
Maybe
bid on
Facebook. Yeah, I was gonna say you can bet on it on Facebook, and we don't give a shit.
How many bids?
How many bids?
Going once, going twice. Fucking no.
We don't have enough listeners to have enough hate yet.
Going once, going twice.
Once we have more listeners, we'll have more hate. That's right. You can get enough people that fucking. But no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. It's not sexual deviance, but the ability to, express fucking whatever the fuck it is that you want, so that leaves freedom for happy, meaningful relationships. And I think that's the direction that things are going. As people can be expressive about what they like and what they don't like, and whether they love men or they love women, or they love both, or they love, they're
unless you want to kill, unless you just have a natural then you can make take those real dolls and just.
That's an expensive waste of body material.
I mean, real dolls.
They don't bleed. If you're gonna make
them
real,
they can make them fucking bleed.
Dude,
I
such
giggled.
Confidence.
I giggled. That was
such
just
the wrong. They can make
awful.
them. You got enough money, they can make them bleed. No, it's perfect. That's hilarious. No, seriously. But you don't even know that for sure. You just made that claim. You don't even know.
Oh, they can make it happen.
Oh, they can do it.
Oh, they can do it.
They're gonna do it. It's like he's already got one on the way. It's like filled with fucking pig blood.
It's like I stuffed the knife right. Customer service.
Could you?
Stuffed the knife right into the neck. Nothing.
No blood came out.
It just oozed a little bit. I want shooting fucking.
Could you imagine
Bud Dwyer blood flying out of their nose?
Could you imagine that they're literally complaining about the fact that it wasn't real enough?
It wasn't real.
Like we make these sexuals not for sex, you asshole. I'm trying to kill it. I'm trying to make it erotically die. What the fuck don't you understand? Erotically die. Well, I don't understand what erotic death is.
We're trying to make you happy.
We're trying to fit your fucked up kink, dude. I don't know what you want. This is a customer service. We've got some of the best customer service on the planet. You're literally talking to somebody who speaks fluent English, and you bought this product from halfway around the world. They don't make these in Kentucky, you asshole. The fact that you're talking to an American proves that our customer service actually gives a shit, unlike your fucking Alexa. You dick face.
Alexa, where can I get a fucking real doll that I can murder that spurts blood everywhere?
The same place you can get girls you can stuff into a space bag, you creepy fuck. That's the response on the Alexa. You're like, that's not what I signed up for. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people out there listening to our conversations right now.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Are you guys ready for that?
Ugh. It's wild.
I love it. All these guys are talking about how fucking upset they are about fucking gun violence, and then at the same time they're like, fucking, Trump's a Nazi. Let's give the fucking Nazi all our guns. What the fuck? I'm not even what the fuck? I understand the concern about gun violence and the need for mental health checks and all these. Yeah. But holy shit.
Well, it hits. I mean, when this shit happens, Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I think
it digs up a lot. Yeah.
It fucking digs a lot. You know what I mean? If somebody's kid school shootings and shit like that, dude. Oh my god, it's fucking horrible. Pray for the families,
terrific.
And honestly, pray for anybody that's fucking had to deal with getting shot.
Look, I'm a Second Amendment guy in New Hampshire too, but
awful.
For you assholes out there that go right to, well, my guns, fuck off. That's the thing that pisses me off is there's a lot of people that go right to well, this is just another excuse for them to try to take my gun. Fuck your guns. Fuck your fucking gun rights and your complaints about it. I'm all for the Second Amendment rights, and I get that, right? That's not the point that I'm making. Is that
but just don't
fuck
stick
them right
your
now?
Dick in it right now. You know what I mean?
It's just it's not that we're against your amendments,
not at all.
But fuck your fucking rights right now, because it's not about that shit. It's about talking about grieving and coming together as a community to help the people
Could have been a
deal
fucking
with suffering.
Could have been a knife. You know, you don't see somebody going,
can-
"Oh, I got knife rights, motherfucker."
Right,
You don't
right.
like.
We can
it's-
address the fucking weapon, variants later, and whose fault, and whether fucking, whether we would have changed some of the gun violence laws in this country earlier. Whether that's all irrelevant. Right now, we got to focus on the fact that we're gonna come together as a society and support each other.
Do the best we
be
can.
empathic as a society. If there's
Do
one
the best
thing
we can with mental health and just
get rid of the stigma.
I'm not siding on any. You know what I mean? Like,
no. But I think that this coincides with what Andrew Yang was saying, and I really like the perspective that he has. Is that it's like, well, a big part of the problem with gun violence isn't the guns; it's our stigma of mental health. Make sure the president of the United States has a psychologist in the White House. Everybody should see a psychologist. And I did those say that louder for those in the fucking back. Everybody on the face of this planet should talk to somebody about their personal experiences in life and their problems. No one's above it.
100%.
And for the sake of society and your children, and whether you want to be a part of society or not, you should still talk to somebody.
You got to. You have to.
You really do. I mean, it's so important.
I mean, you don't have to. Nobody's proverbial, holding a gun to your head.
Nobody's, no, fuck
or a knife.
No, fuck all those people. If there's anybody listening here and you're doing this, you're taking this literal as hyperbole, just fuck off. You obviously don't know your elbow from your asshole. Because it's not about that. It's about fucking...
Isn't that, though?
Nobody's forcing you to do
You
anything.
go to take a dump and you fucking stick your elbow in the toilet.
It's just like...
Sorry, fucking...
He shits all over the floor. He's like squatted down. He's trying to dunk his fucking elbow in the toilet. Just diarrhea all over the fucking floor. Madge!
I don't get it. My fucking
Madge.
pants are filled with what seems like coffee grinds.
His wife's name is Madge.
Madge.
Like, Madge, I don't get it. Diarrhea all over the floor now. I hope you didn't get rid of that squeegee.
And this is what it comes down to, poop. That's what it does.
Welcome to Abstract Transmissions.
No. It's wild.
We went on a tangent again. What were we talking about? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Gun violence.
Gun violence and the fact that, it's not about your guns. It's about all of us talking. And that no one's above talking to somebody. Everybody should have a counselor. Everybody should talk to each other. Everybody should be open about their problems and their thoughts and their sadness, their anger. If you feel like shooting a bunch of people, you're probably not the only one. Fuck human beings. Fuck you all. But at the same time, we love you because we all have to live together.
Oh.
But no, fuck you.
Fuck are you? You fuck on me? I fuck on you.
Fuck yourselves, because not one of you people have come together soon enough to save humanity. And we're all watching the decline of human civilization right in front of us.
There's many I don't know.
Fires.
I don't know who they are, but I feel like there's many. There could be many.
No, you're right. There's lots of people out there that
a lot of people
that are trying to do the right thing, and I say that very tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. I obviously am very proud of the fact that as humanity, we're trying to get rid of our cognitive dissonance and fucking jar the shit. Because that's exactly what it is that we just can't get past the fact that we're destroying ourselves. And now that the Arctic's on fire and all of that methane's releasing because of the fucking permafrost fires, that's the end right there. The minute permafrost started lighting on fire and the methane started...
Not good. It's not good.
It's not good at all. And everybody who doesn't understand that, just let the smarter people make decisions for you because, sorry, you're going to fucking kill us all.
I literally haven't.
I have no other way to put it.
I haven't looked up any of that stuff that you were telling me. I'd like to look it up. I'd like to, because I'm learning.
And I respect the fact that not everybody's going to have the time to research it and whatnot. Sometimes they're just going to get their information from Meredith Vieira on The View or whoever the fuck it is now. oh, Whoopi Goldberg, but the fact is the world is literally on fire, and you exist in it. So does your kids, and whether you think it's best for you, you should do everything you can to make that society in the future better for your kids, for the continuity of human civilization, because it's not you that has to live in that future. It's your kids' and their four-armed offspring. Who knows?
Well, either way,
either way.
What do you think? Break?
Yeah, I think this is usually about the time of the episode where
Breakdown.
we take a quick break and talk about Pilot's Good Company. Cotet19.net. So I'm just going to go into that briefly. Cotet19.net is an amazing company that makes some really awesome screen prints as well as embroidered custom clothing in the vein of Stephen King in The Dark Tower. For all of you out there that are bibliophiles and have a bibliophile in the family, check out Cotet19.net. That's Cotet19.net. They have an awesome selection of product and clothing that really embodies any of the constant readers in the family. If they like Stephen King or any of the Dark Tower series, they have really phenomenal product, phenomenal quality. So it's KA-TET19.net. And they, if you go on and you use Abstract Transmissions as your coupon code, you get 15% off your first order. And I'm actually going to go spend some money here in the next couple of hours on some product for them, because it's been too long, almost 10 years since I bought myself clothes. So
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Better
do
get
that.
at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and it's cool because I'm gonna get myself a Talisman T-shirt. I love the Talisman, and I love Cotet19.net. So again, that's Cotet19.net. Check them out when you get a chance, and we'll be back here in just a second. And we are back. We were just talking about music, actually, briefly. Bands, in the creation of bands, and how a lot of times bands start out with the intention on being one thing and turned into something entirely different.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Typo Negative, Pantera, all good examples.
Yep.
But I think that's really great when a band is like, we're going to be one thing, and then all of a sudden it goes a different direction. They just embrace that direction instead of trying to fuck it back in what they wanted, like Papa Roach. No offense, but that's just my personal opinion. Then again, I haven't heard them recently, so it may be a very uneducated and ignorant opinion, to be fair to you guys in Papa Roach. But I think a lot of bands have done that. They're like, we're going to be this thing, and it doesn't go in that direction. They force it back in that other direction. It's like, yeah. When you could just make this thing and embrace it the way it goes. And I always had a respect for Slipknot in a lot of ways as a metal band, because I felt like when it was just the 9 of them, the original 9, well, I say the original 9, excluding Anders and all of them, because I started listening to them, with a self-titled,
But yeah, just
Terry Date remix release and all that stuff back in '99. That's what I remember Slipknot as. But I don't think they intended on. I think they just let it manifest itself as an entity instead of being like, we're going to do this thing, and all of them had an input. The band just made its own music.
That's good.
As like an entity that came together like fucking. What's Voltron, you know what I mean? Voltron needs everybody to be Voltron. You know what I mean? Like, you need that conglomeration for it to be effective.
Well, it's just like Scott was saying, Scott McMullen.
Yeah.
Roadkill. I mean, he was right when he's, when you get into these bands and you want to kind of have a certain sound and but there's also 4 or 5 people, sometimes 3, they just go into it, and
Yep.
you make a different style of music, and you kind of roll with it.
Right.
That's what it is. I mean, unless you're like hell bent on like, dude, I really
This is what
this
we're
is
doing.
bullshit. I want to play polka. You know what I mean? Polka pumps.
We're gonna be a fucking polka band.
And if you're really not feeling it, then fucking, you can walk away.
It's like a self-help for polka, run by Weird Al. He's like, look, I know you guys wanted to make polka, but I can relate. I've been there, but you just have to embrace whatever comes naturally.
Yeah.
I, for one, made parodies. But yeah,
that's so true though. And I've had a lot of fucking amazing times just writing with you. You know what I mean? Like Endless
for
Nameless. Shit, how many? Wow.
Jesus, every project
Oneros?
I've ever been in, I think, has been with you. Other than this one, most recently, and when I was covering vocals and Where They Hide, I think that's really one of the few things that I've done that has not included you. Really, Oneros, Endless Nameless, fucking even what's it called? The Alderaan Relief kind of thing there.
Yeah, we there was
and that little in between thing that we did with Aaron and Jamie from Born Kind of Guy.
That's right.
Unrest in Transit. And consistently, we've always kind of wrote together, whether I was, writing guitar parts with you. And in this case, in Unrest in Transit, I didn't write really any structuring parts, except for in that, in water sports or whatever it was later in the band.
Yeah. I mean, it was me and Matt, we'd talk, and we're like,
You and Matt,
we get in like these
Doug were big drivers in that band as far as writing. I felt like early on,
Alex had those
nasty
fucking. I mean, nasty. They were great.
Yeah, he really did have some amazing structure.
Jeremy, he brought some fucking nastiness as well.
Yeah,
and structure.
Consistency.
But
like when we wrote,
it was different styles.
Oh well, that was the thing I was just gonna say. When we wrote Water Sports, the thing that I liked a lot about Jeremy was he was, or Race of the Chocobos. Either one of those was like
Race of the Chocobos.
He was just very very open and flexible on which direction we were gonna go. And no disrespect to what Alex brought to the table. He was just very driven on what he wanted to do. Drum wise, is like, nope, this is what we're doing. He's making his decision. This is the direction. So I just think that this is a nice thing about being open to the direction of whatever, like we were just talking about with bands, just kind of flowing and letting the band create its own the entity creates its own music and not forcing it. But there's all different ways to make music. I mean, and nothing's ever better than the other. It's just different.
Yeah.
But I think that something that's really important to discuss. We didn't really, we were talking about why we are here and what we're doing here with Abstract Transmissions.
Yes.
But a big thing is to bridge some of these gaps, musically. I mean, not musically, but conversationally about music. There's such a stigma, I think, about like art and having to do certain things a certain way and not just being open to the process of writing. You just, who gives a shit if you're just writing a simple riff that's 2 chords, or if you're doing something crazy and 7/4 timing. There's so many different ways to do whatever it is that you want to create artistically. But I really think that the whole, condescension It's really, I feel like there's been a lot of music recently that's been very trying to out his bands out trying to outdo each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna have that. It's
It,
kind of a weird thing, though.
yeah, yeah.
If you're like still stuck in that, like, really fucking double bass.
Yeah.
Well, what about me? Look at me.
Yeah.
Good for you. Fuck
Right.
off.
Right.
Or not. It could be good people. Who knows? But if you're
that's great. But
if you're trying to fucking outdo people,
well, that's fucking ridiculous. And people, obviously, you can have listeners who be like, "Well, I don't really experience that in the community." I don't think in our community it's that apparent. But sometimes you run into people. I can think of a specific circumstance recently where, like I fucking run into some musicians that we've always gotten along, neutral ground or whatever, going through some weird shit. So I'm not super talkative, but one of them is super nice. The other two just have always been major dicks, and it's just like I don't get it. I'm not here to fucking try to prove my band's better than yours or
It's no use. Just stick to your art.
Yeah, right. Well, that's it. Just stick to your art. Like, it's cool. Like, I get the need to try to have this cultural elitism, to be the band on the main stage, to be the band that draws the most, to be the band that, got to sit side stage with, it's great, but, like, when you talk to other people and then you treat people in your own musical community like shit, it's like,
yes,
what the fuck's that, man?
Not that great. I don't know.
That's shit, man. I think that's shit. All we have is each other, and not everybody's that way, right? But yeah. I think there's sometimes
the majority is really, from what I found, is not really.
It's not like that.
It's not really like that. I mean, you get a couple people that are like, but well, good luck.
Yeah.
Hope the best for you. And then, they might even get crazy big.
Is? It's just
that's what happens.
It's just I'm thinking of a circumstance specifically that I just I'm not dropping names, but I went to the fucking Kill Switch show recently, and for me it was about Matt and experiencing that whole situation with Matt, and it's just like running into some fucking musicians that we know and from the community. It's just like one of them was totally cool. The other two they couldn't be fucking bothered and just fucking condescending as shit and just like, ugh.
Way above, yeah. I don't know.
I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I just don't understand that. Like, I don't know. It's kind of confusing and mind-boggling to me. Because I've always felt like this tight-knit sense of like kumbaya, I guess. But that's not cool if you're in a death metal band. I don't know.
There's a lot of kumbaya death metal. I don't know.
There should be a lot more kumbaya music in general because the community is all we have is each other. Because nowadays is fucking Spotify isn't helping anybody fucking process.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you heard that, I was tapping on I was messing with the xylophone.
Yeah.
I had to.
Get
nervous.
The thing is I think that when people come together, we can accomplish a lot more than being divisive. I think that's where I was going with the conversation of this, is that the origins of this podcast was really rooted in the need to stray away from divisiveness and start having real conversations.
Gotta do it.
And not be, if there's an issue, get together, talk about it,
Yeah, it always helps. I mean,
instead of just like harboring shit. But because there is not enough of that nowadays, there's too much conversation.
Here I go again.
going on that that is not it's not conducive to actual conversation. It's just people yelling at each other opinions and not really solving any real problems. You know.
And honestly, like what, like I see a lot of conversations in Facebook and everything like that. You know, I'm kind of like the, you know, just kind of creep along type, drop some music here and there. But I feel like, you know, the people that are just like, oh really? Okay, fucking well I got this. You know what I mean? And then like, really I disagree. Well, fuck you, Baron. Sometimes it gets like heated, sometimes not. You know,
Right.
but I feel like sitting in a room, it's
Yeah, and just hammering away on your keyboard
it's
and
not
just consuming your life, and
I mean, like people sitting in a room like we're right sitting
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
now, like it. I think it'd be a lot different, or it could get fucking ugly.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
But I don't think. I mean, it's so awkward to get ugly.
No, because it never
like-
gets back and forth like that. Well, and that's the thing that
It's more like sitting down and who are you? I want to know your story. You know what I mean? Or some people don't give a fuck. You
Right,
know?
right,
They're like,
right.
oh, I don't give a fuck about your story. Fuck it back. You know, but it just seems like, you know, having conversations like this.
there's more accomplished because we're actually discussing our personal experience and our you know what really it drives us in the conversation, what makes us angry, what fuels what's making people upset, you know, and opposed to the fact that people are just hammering away stuff on Facebook, typing it, and then just like, my opinion, that's fact, that's it. Which I've done that myself, but I think the reason for the podcast is to open up the conversation, because conversations are inert nowadays digitally. They just get stopped with opinion and grammar, digital grammar. They're not really, you know, it's not inflection or conversation here. But the same thing can happen in social situations. You run into musicians that you know, and everybody gets along. They're in the same social community, and it's just like, oh hey, yeah. And so the same thing can fucking happen. People just don't say anything about it. It's not like those people who are like, I don't like you for whatever reason. You know, these musicians specifically that I'm speaking about, for whatever reason, I don't feel like they like me. I don't know what the issue is to those out there. I'm sure that they don't listen to this podcast, but if you're listening, I don't know why you don't like me, and I don't know why there's been such animosity. In the future, I wish the animosity to go away. And you know, never ever put people on blast on social media or anything like that. And this is not that circumstance for me, but I think it's important to bring up those circumstances. The last thing I'm worried about is whether these people like me or not. I just fucking dealt with all kinds of death, and I didn't really give a fuck. To be completely honest, but at the same time, it's just like, let's all work together to strengthen our social and musical community instead of you know, just kind of, you know, use elitism.
Have that like, ooh, every time you're yeah,
It's
kind of
just so
weird.
awkward because
Say it. You know what I mean? What you don't fucking
yeah, I don't like being
my guitar skills. What is it?
What is it that upsets
You know what?
you?
Fucking, I don't like the way you play guitar.
I don't
fucking like
I
your
don't
shoes.
I don't like your sweater, your neck sweater.
And then you're like, all right,
your,
well,
your turtle neck vest.
I'm either sorry that you think that way, or fucking, oh, good, fuck you then.
Yeah, I mean, that's how my dad was. Is
dude,
always like,
done.
you're like, what do you want? You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. He's very off-put, but I don't think that's the solution. I think we should talk about it, figure out the solution, and then if there's no common ground, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at least try to make the attempt first.
Imagine they like, go fuck yourself. They're like, all right, fuck you, I will.
All
And
right,
then,
well,
then they actually,
well, Carlton Fisk, you're fucking
actually
at
do it.
Louisville fucking Slugger.
and then they just reserve a corner and just like, I will. Like, no, this is public. Stop. No, you fucking told me to.
You didn't do it on public. Listen, I think that the direction that a lot of these people go in when they start to just open themselves up to the public. I know I was waiting for the look in your face there. You did not want me to go that way. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin got uncomfortable because we were talking about masturbation. I personally don't.
Just everything.
Yeah, well,
Everything.
just talk about it all.
Yeah.
Have a little bit more Pierce whiskey, and then we'll start wrapping it up in a little bit. But we still get a little bit more time to go into a couple more discussions. Snapchat filters is one of them. Stop it. Just fucking stop with the Snapchat filters. Okay? They're not necessary. You don't need Snapchat filters. Completely unnecessary. They don't do anything for anybody. They're not helping anyone. They're not. Nobody buys them. Nobody believes that filter is you. It's making the company a bunch of money. It doesn't work. I like robots just like everybody else does, but it doesn't help anybody. So fuck you, Snapchat. On to the next one. Just a little bit of dig at fucking
Good
Snapchat.
angles.
Yeah,
Good angles on pictures.
Sorry, it just pisses me the fuck. Good angles and pictures, duck faces.
Dude, that's so...
And Snapchat filters are just the duck faces of today. That's all it is. It's all it's fucking turned into. It's not real.
No, it's not.
Kidding. If you like your filters, go
Dude,
ahead.
my fucking
Go ahead.
Facebook
I'm kidding.
profile
I'm
picture.
joking. It's okay.
Dude, my Facebook profile picture is kind of weird. You know, I'm just kind of looking off the side. Ugh. I took like 7
No, it's real
shots.
though. It's real.
It's real, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you know, meet me in person. I look like a fucking hamster.
Yeah.
See?
I
He
feel
agrees.
the same way. I feel the same way about my picture, actually.
It's so
And
true.
that's why I'm okay with, you know, some bad pictures from time to time. I'm not a photogenic motherfucker. I'm just not.
Oh,
I hate it.
so many pictures with me like just blinking,
Yeah.
like. Ugh,
It's scorched
God.
earth right there.
it's so scorched earth.
Yeah, that was just a thing I was saying. You know.
Oh, I feel like a scorched earth.
Well, we can make it more awkward.
Oh. Ow.
This is the best part. This is the best part. This is for all you fine fucking people who don't know what it's like to meet us in person. This is how it is in real life. We have these really awkward conversations. And that's at the Butterscotch Waterfalls.
Butterscotch.
The direction I think of the podcast moving forward is going to be the big goal. You know, to mix it up as many weird types of guests as possible. So that's the thing I wanted to go into before we wrap this up. Is that I think Justin's on board with this. We're gonna get weird with this shit.
Yeah.
We want to go with like Fritz Witherby, get some politicians, some metal vocalists, drummers, abstract artists, somebody who works in childcare. Like, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We want to talk to as many different types of people as possible
No,
to keep
absolutely.
it as weird. They don't need to be celebrities. They don't need to be high-end caliber guests. I mean, that's great to have high-end caliber guests because it drags attention here, and it's political season, so we want to be able to have the Andrew Yangs and the Elizabeth Warrens, but if they don't want to fucking be here, then fuck them. We'll do our best to try to get them on the show and talk about the real issues, but if they don't feel like that our show's caliber, you know, our studio is you know, elite enough, then they can take their Democrat, you know, elitism the fuck somewhere else. Elizabeth Warren. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I haven't heard back any negative from them. We were talking about having them on the show, and if we do, then great. But they haven't been negative
seen
about them
something
on the show. There's a very good possibility it may happen, and if so, we appreciate them coming on the show. I'm being tongue in cheek and sarcastic.
And Elizabeth Warren, I mean, she wants to come over and have a beer. That's fine.
Yeah, that's it. You want that's we're into the local
not
drafts and stuff,
we're
but
not super
we're gonna
vulgar
talk
people
to a
or
bunch
anything
of
like that.
political guests over the next month or so, and that's gonna be the goal. Libertarian guests is a big focus for us as well, and I would like to have a Republican running, but it's just Donald Trump, and he ain't gonna come on here. And I don't know if I could deal with anybody who doesn't eat fucking a cheeseburger with a bun. It's fucked.
And also, Tawny Kitayan? Is that her name? Tawny Kitayan.
I don't know who the fuck it is, but I was
That's
thinking about Tony D. Young. That's who we should have on
Oh,
there.
yeah, I could do that too.
Holy
But Tawny,
shit, that'd be a hell of a conversation.
Tawny, she was the one on,
I don't
White
know.
Snake videos.
I don't know who that is.
She was like on a car. Is this love?
Oh, right. Well,
Please
then
come on our podcast.
Please come on our podcast. Look, we're so soliciting this. Look how freaking unprofessional we are about this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're about. We're not into the professionalism here. We're into real conversations with people. We don't give a shit about, FCC regulations or what people have been doing for a while. We don't care if it's not a concern of mine. I mean, if it grabs your attention, then great. But we're going to do it regardless whether it grabs your attention or not.
Yeah, it's just going to happen.
It's like an 8-minute freaking Nirvana song. And if you ever learn something special,
You gotta do it.
you got to do it. Doesn't make any sense. No, but what I was going to say is if you ever listen to Endless Nameless, the band that we were in before, it was like 8-minute Nirvana songs, like 2 chords that just went on for a long time. Yeah. Welcome to Abstract Transmissions, you assholes.
Yes.
The next few months are going to be interesting. We're really shooting hard for those political guests, but we've actually got a pretty good caliber lineup going on coming up.
I think
possibly an author too. I think these kind of conversations become very lively when you have people from different walks of life, not just the average, NPR guest. But I would like to have, somebody from the ACLU. And so that is a call to all you fine folks out there. If you know somebody who might be interested in coming on Abstract Transmissions, we can certainly get guests on our own. But I like the idea of having referrals too, because it gives us the perspective outside of the box. We don't always think, like I'm thinking of really great ideas, and we had Crystal from Job Talk, which was awesome.
That was awesome.
Because it's a really unique perspective on the job market, especially from somebody who does such a great job generating attention, especially to the job market and how things are changing. I mean, she's just a wealth of knowledge. I think those types of conversations really gives
a
dimension. Yeah,
dimension.
Yeah. It really allows us to delve into what people are really going through. So individual human beings that are struggling in circumstances too, we're all about it. Keep us in mind. If you know somebody you think may be that type of person, feel free to send us an email. abstracttransmissions@gmail.com is our booking contact info. If you know somebody, we would definitely like the opportunity to have different concepts and ideas. We might not stick with everybody because we're assholes, but no, but we'll do our best to try to incorporate every different type of person, but we want to make sure we keep it mixed up in like a steady shuffle of people.
Down.
And so our human responsibility to the future generations, dude, you don't have to recycle, but for the love of God, stop denying climate change.
And tip your waitresses.
Tip your fucking waitresses. Like, seriously, people fucking don't be a dick. Okay? Yeah, if you're from Canada, then I get it, but other than that, don't be an asshole. In the United States, you don't really have a reason to. Fucking 20% at least. Jesus, come on. We have to even say this? No, but listen, the other thing we're talking about, global warming and all that. Yeah, global warming is a reality. Climate change is a reality. We are not the cause of it. We're probably 15% of it. India and China are probably the major issues, but we are the driving factor of the world. We're the Hollywood cowboys of the world. Everybody looks at us and goes, America, look at them. They got their Hollywood act together. Let's do what they're doing for some fucking weird reason. I don't know
Kind of
why we're the
nuts.
police of the world, but we are, and we really got to get our shit together in the aspect that climate change, as bad as it is, as terrible as it is, as too late as it is to even fix, is not our big problem. Looking at the skies is the big problem. Talk to your congressperson about near-Earth objects, because they're going to fucking decimate our existence. On that note, you fine folks have a
Sleep
wonderful
well.
night. It was great talking to you guys here on Abstract Transmissions. We appreciate your time and attention,
Indeed.
and your patience. This has been a really rough couple of
It has been. You know, we've
couple of
had
weeks, but we're gonna right back on the ball. We've got a great episode coming up next week with myself and Justin and Doug and Jeremy from Unrest in Transit. We're gonna be talking about Matt and our experiences with Matt playing in Unrest in Transit and music and some fun stuff there as well.
and much, much, much more.
Stay tuned. Abstract here, abstract there.